Hey everyone, I welcome you all to this science and technology episode on July 3rd, 2022, Sunday daily edition of Hindu. So we'll see each and every news on this page because this page is very important with respect to UPSC examination, especially CSE prelims, right? We have seen that in last year also many questions came from this part, and based on those observations we must do these pages in a very with a very hawk eye vision, right? So let's see the snapshots first. What are the small news? Child hepatitis. Tis means inflammation, okay, and hepa means liver. Fine. Unexplained cases of hepatitis in children. Research have hypothesized a link of coronavirus. Okay. Now United States data cast doubt on the ideal number of cases there remained flat. The rise in UK case may be connected to infection with adenovirus. Okay, fine. Small smell matters. People with similar body odors are more likely to instantly get along as friends. Research used human smellers and smell detecting electronic nose to sniff the scent of 20 pairs of same sex non-romantic friend. Both found that friends smell more like each other than do random pairs. Okay. Genetic activity. Researchers are getting closer to the goal of revealing exactly where in a cell or tissue each gene is expressed. Spatial transcriptomics, okay, this is the term you must know, allows them to study gene expression, okay, in samples. Resulting atlases of spatial information can tell which cell make up each tissue and how they organized and how they communicate. Okay. To the moon. The NASA Capstone Air spacecraft launched from New Zealand on June 28 should reach the moon by November 13. Capstone will study lunar orbit where NASA plans to launch a space station that will orbit moon in a stable path, making it easier for astronauts to reach more parts of the moon. Okay, so these are small news, not much relevant. A new pathway to regulate nitrate absorption in plant. You know nitrogen is very important for plant growth. Let's see the infographic first. Plant mainly absorb nitrogen from soil in form of nitrates and ammonium. Okay, nitrates NO3 minus and ammonium NH3 NH4 plus. Okay, an important macronutrient. Nitrogen is part of chlorophyll. What is macronutrient? It is needed in large quantities. Okay, and it is a part of chlorophyll, amino acid and nucleic acid. Chlorophyll has nitrogen along with magnesium. Chlorophyll has magnesium as well. Okay. There is a need to regulate and optimize nitrogen intake in plants so that the excess is not dumped in soil and water. The hormone auxin is responsible for well-developed root across the plant, influencing nitrogen absorption. So auxin hormone for plant helps in development of roots. Okay. Alternate pathway. The regulatory microRNA switch MIR444 is known to turn off at least 5 genes called MADS box transcription factor genes. A target gene called MADS27 has 3-pronged effect regulating nitrogen absorption and root development, stress and tolerance. So these things can be regulated. Tinkering with this gene may help to regulate nitrogen absorption and engineer abiotic stress tolerance. So this is a very good initiative. Give it a read. It is very easy, I think. What questions can you expect from here in prelims? Just know the nitrobacters. Okay, if possible go for nitrogen cycle, and these two things will do the work. Okay. India's patent law safeguard under fire. Fine. Let's do this. 2-degree temperature rise can damage Earth species. Global emissions are expected to cause planet to continue healthy heating rapidly over next few decades, prompting the global average temperature overshoot in Paris Agreement, which aim to limit it to 1.5 and 2 degrees Celsius, somewhere between that. For the first time, scientists study the consequences, allowing Earth temperature to exceed these precautionary limits and then fall below them again. The results suggested that temporary overshoot would cause waves of irreversible extinction and lasting damage to tens of thousands of species. This is what world can expect if humanity fails to make deep emission cuts this decade. It will not happen. They will not cut. Just a few years of global temperature above 2 degrees Celsius could transform the world's most important ecosystem. The consequence of this exposure could be irreversible, including the tropical forest turning into savannas, and world would lose a critical global carbon sink, leaving more planet warming gas into the temperature, okay, into the atmosphere. Okay, you understand this? This is called positive feedback system. A process is there, okay, process releases output. This output increases the rate of this process. You understand? This is how it goes. So output itself increases the process or acts as catalyst slash catalyzes the process. Okay, let's see. And what we have more? Okay, first we should do this. India's patent law safeguard under fire. Okay, the new recommendation reduces the period within which patent application can be challenged to 6 months. The price lowering effect of competition and domestic manufacturing of medicine can transform how disease get treated in resource poor setting. Decision made by Indian patent officers can negatively impact generic competition and supply worldwide, relying on the availability of affordable medicine made in India. Monopolies granted by the patent office on the medical product keep prices high and block local manufacturers. Okay, in 2005, lawmakers from all political party amended Indian patent law to ensure that Indian patent office did not grant monopolies on old science for compound already in public domain. Okay, that Indian patent office did not grant for old monopolies for old science or compounds already in public domain. The new law now prevents drug corporations from including in evergreening, a common abusive patenting practice aimed at obtaining separate patent monopoly relating to the same medicine. Okay, this is called evergreening. It is simply that, say you have this component X, okay, and you have a patent for this. Now after some time your patent is expiring, so you make a compound X plus some small a and you get a patent. So it is X only, but it has something else than this one. Okay, so it is a bit advanced version. Okay, and you get a patent for this. This is called evergreening. Why? Because the major constituent, that is X, remains. Example, you have a paracetamol, having a patent for that. Okay, now you have to evergreen it. So what you will do? Paracetamol plus some analgesics you will give. You make a composition and give it to them. It goes like this. Okay, this is called evergreening. And to bring this to the notice of the patent examiner, the amended patent law allowed any person to file pre-grant opposition any time before the patent office decide to grant or reject. This week, the Economic Times reports that the Economic Advisory Council to Prime Minister recommended period within which the patent application are open to challenge by public be restricted to mere 6 months from the date of its publication. Since the Indian Patent Office receives an average of 50,000 patent applications a year, examiners often miss critical information about the patent application under the consideration. A recent study on pharmaceuticals patent granted in India revealed that 7 out of 10 patents are granted in error or by Indian Patent Office. The robust pre-grant opposition system provides an additional administrative layer of scrutiny that prevents the grant of frivolous patent through the third party's participation in review process. Evergreening monopolies on medical products is lucrative game for pharmaceutical corporations, allowing them to charge high prices. And Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, big pharma associations in India, have made several attempts to undermine this safeguard. The commerce industry responsible for administration of Patent Act is now under the pressure to restrict pre-grant patent opposition. Pre-grant opposition 2005, the First challenge to pending patent claim on the medicine was filed by Cancer Patent Aid Association before Indian Patent Office. The CPAA highlighted that Swiss Corporation patent application on imatinib mesialate is a life-saving anti-cancer drug claimed assault from old medicine, a common practice within the pharmaceutical industry, and should not be considered patentable. The Patent Office subsequently rejected the patent, whereas the latter was upheld by the High Court and Supreme Court. The pre-grant opposition by CPAA on cancer drug protected the price reduction from over 14 lakh per patient to from Novartis to less than 40,000 per patient a year from generic manufacturer. In last 17 years, generic manufacturer and people living with HIV, DRTV and viral hepatitis also filed several patent oppositions to safeguard generic competition. Okay, in 2006, this company filed the first such opposition to patent application by Galaxo Group Limited for Gombiphir, a fixed dose of combination for 2-H drug. GSK withdrew the patent application in India and several other countries after patent opposition in India pointed out that patent claim did not cover new invention but simply combination of two existing drugs. Several such challenges before the patent office successfully ensured that availability of affordable HIV medicine to millions of living across the world. The 99% reduction in prices of antiretroviral following the genetic competition from $10,000 per year per person down to $100 has been critical factor in explaining the expansion of antiretroviral treatment. Prescribing timeline and cutting short the windows period for pre-grant opposition make it difficult to challenge the previous patent and patent application on drug vaccine. The information of patent application does not permit the public to rapidly identify and claim the medical product. The identification and further analysis are time consuming as several applications are pending on the same medicine vaccine and reducing the opportunity for filing challenges pending will not increase efficiency. On the contrary, the pre-grant opposition provides the information to the examiner that can help to speed up the examination process and deny the invalid patent. Real challenge: the Humanitarian Medical Organization has supported hundreds of pre-grant oppositions in India, working closely with the patent group to safeguard generic competition. In our experience, tackling the overwhelming number of evergreening patent claims on known drug technology is a real challenge for Indian patent officer. Attempt to dilute timeline on pre-grant opposition and diverts from the real problem. Okay. So what are the challenges that it is talking about? Two challenges mainly. One is about timeline. To counter patent, it has been reduced to 6 months now. Okay, and second thing it is talking about is this thing. Okay, safeguard generic competitions. Safeguard generic competitions. Okay, so let's see the next one. We have one more article left. Why India should support antibiotics development? Okay, why should we support it? Let's see. India needs an investment mindset that can fund and sustain drug discovery and development. AMR is a looming public health crisis impacting every country globally. Okay, a recent project found that estimate 5 million people suffered from at least one of the drug resistant infection, and AMR directly causes about 1.25 million deaths. AMR is one of the major public health problem, directly contributing to about 30% of the death due to neonatal sepsis across India. Okay, these are the data. Irrational antibiotic use by medical community, the general public and pharma. Okay, these are the problem here. To tackle the AMR crisis, we need robust investment and research and development, new antibiotic, rapid and affordable diagnostics, and all those things. Formulations impact across the country, equitable access. This will give what? This will give equitable access to life-saving antibiotics. One such immediate intervention is welcome move by the government of India to pass legislation banning the use of streptomycin and tetracycline in agriculture and growth promotional use of colistin in poultry farming. So you just know this thing. This is important. With India's reputation as pharmacy of the global south, the numerous global competent manufacture plant, it's time to expand our focus. Okay, we have the intellectual firepower and critical talent pool. However, we need robust investment from government and private sector in specializing training, coupled with investment mindset, etc. Dry antibiotic pipeline. During the last decade, the success rate from phase 1 to FDA approval of new antibiotic was found to be 16.3% in comparison to overall industry average of 7.9%. Despite the high success rate, antibiotic development suffered from lack of investment and quick market uptake for newly approved product. The exit of Big Pharma from antibiotic development, coupled with lack of investment from venture capitalists and paucity of enabling regulatory and policy solutions are supportive of commercial viability, etc. Why is the market for antibiotic broken and drug pipeline ultra thin? Unlike most new drug, post-approval, new antibiotic used sparingly and reserved mainly for the case which order and in which older antibiotics are ineffective. In addition to reimbursement mechanism in several countries, okay. Super generic. This is the same thing they are talking about. The push-pull model, let's see this. Small companies are getting early stage funding from public-private partnership, which has provided 360 million in investing to an the funding of example of the push model has catalyzed creation of robust pipeline project in early discovery. Okay, the pull vector may come from pioneering antimicrobial subscription to end upsurging resistance act. If the US government passes it, the companies that develop critically needed antibiotics for drug resistance infection would receive a federal government contract ranging from 750 million to 3 billion spread over 10 years. The incentive to incentivize the creation of new treatment, the US Congress, these things have been there. In addition to the recent creation of AMR Action Fund with mandate to invest 1 billion to the address to current funding gaps development, give a boost to that. Okay, let me give you a glimpse of this. They're just saying the last thing. This is important point. The push-pull model. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so there are two parts: push and pull. What happens? This is early, this is middle, and this is final. This is, I'm talking about stage. Okay, now what happened? New big antibiotic. So in early stage of development, what happens? Funded by public, private, or private people. Okay, so it helps it to reach somewhere along the middle ground. Here in this part, okay, what happens? It steers by its own. But here in this part, there is no one to put it. Fine. So what is needed? We need people / government to incentivize this part of medicine development. Why? Because if medicine is developed and if this is incentivized, then we'll get more medicine. Therefore, increase medicine, that is antibiotics available, and we'll be able to cure. This is what it is saying. Okay, fine. So I think with this we have come to end of today's newspaper, today's science section analysis of the Hindu newspaper. I hope you like it. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like our work. Okay, so it's time to say goodbye to you all. Before that, let me motivate you to work hard and stop not until what you achieve what you have desired, right? So I'm taking a part from you now. Goodbye, good luck, and Jai Hind.